to this paper a little too lengthy was only to give you that practice, so that you guys are being able to manage up with time. So yes, I agree that this paper has been a little lengthy, but if you see the standard of the question, I don't think that questions posed any difficulty. I would rather term this particular paper, mock test 70, to be of moderate difficulty level. Alright, the difficulty level wasn't high at all, because the questions from all sections were pretty direct and should not have posed any problem to students as such. However, I do agree that this paper appeared to be a little lengthy, for the fact that English section was also a little lengthy with 3 RC passages, and similarly legal section, if we see, it had too many number of questions which had multiple principles, and I hope you guys agree that the multiple principal questions require a little bit of time to comprehend the principles, and then accordingly read the facts, and then again use the knowledge of the principle into the fact and derive to an answer. So yes, the paper was a lengthy, of course. I'm getting some response from students. Right. Okay. This is to Bhava. For your question, will you be getting such long passages in your, main entrance exam for CLAT? Well, this is very subjective, for the fact that we are really not sure how the framers of the question paper from CLAT committee is going to frame the question paper but I can assure you of one thing, that with the kind of practice that you actually undergo in all the LSP mock tests, you tend to see variety of question papers, wherein the question paper could be very difficult, like it was in the earlier mock. Alright, it could be lengthy, like it is in this particular mock. Alright, it could be absolutely fine, alright, like it was in the immediately last mock test 60, wherein no discrepancies and it was just all fine. So we actually tend to give you different patterns of question papers to just make you comfortable before main entrance exam, so that that question paper could be of any varied kind, and do not form a set notion in your mind which poses a little difficulty. If you have fixed notion in your mind pertaining to a question paper, say for example, if you base your question paper depending upon how it was in the last year, then anyways automatically you will tend to be scared, for the fact that last year's question paper was a clear-cut deviation from what the website for CLAT and the notification for CLAT had suggested. So this in a way is very good. I should say that all the 18 mocks that you guys have been exposed to, in all these 18 mocks you have varied kinds of question paper given to you. And now in the last 2 or 3 days of preparatory phase, if you are taking up each of the question paper once again and trying to solve it in the time span of 2 hours, which is the required 120 minutes to solve the CLAT paper, I believe that you would actually get the feel of various kinds of question paper, so that you have you have a preparation in your mind that the question paper could be any kind, and would not fumble to appear for a paper which is either lengthy, or it could be difficult, or it could be ambiguous. So the basic motive of giving you a variety of question paper and varied types of question paper was only this. So I hope that you guys now have understood that you should not be having any set notion pertaining to the question paper that is going to come up in class. Okay, because no question paper will be a replica of last year's question paper. So you should not think that it is going to be very difficult like it was last year, which had a clear-cut deviation from what the CLAT committee had suggested, and that's the reason why this year we propose to have a holistic approach towards the paper, and we have had that already. Like if you see this year's question, this test, LFC mock test 17, have also introduced certain one-word questions pertaining to legal knowledge in the legal aptitude section, isn't it? So that is only because we want to make you understand one simple fact that do not have any fixed notion in your mind pertaining to a question paper. Earlier, it was the practice that we used to refer to what the particular examination committee is coming up with the notification. But after last year's mishap, we would not want to take it as a precedent, right? So we are not taking the CLAT committee proposition with regards to the pattern of the paper to be conclusive in nature. Okay, and we are going to have a holistic approach. So this is a request to all the students that please do not ignore legal knowledge for the fact that in the pattern suggested by the CLAT committee, they have said that the questions will be confining to principle-based questions only. So not think that that means that they are excluding knowledge-based questions. Of course, we cannot derive to a conclusion until in the question paper we see that legal knowledge questions were not there. So now that you are preparing, please make sure you are having a holistic approach. All right, you are studying everything in totality and not keeping any fixed notions in mind pertaining to the question paper. I hope it's clear to all students who is attending this particular session now. Okay, so to this paper, all right. If, say for example, your CLAT entrance exam paper is of this kind, a little lengthy for the fact that you have got 3 passages given in your English section. Then you've got logical reasoning section, which is anyways it has a little it is a little lengthy section. So and on top of that you've got legal reasoning sections, which obviously have to be done in with utmost precision for the fact that this is acting as your tiebreaker. So legal section is also going to be of utmost importance, all right. And then GK, of course, 50 marks. So GK has some sort of importance with regards to the length of the paper, but yet it should match within a time frame of 15, like I told you. In this paper, all right, the ideal time limit that you should have prescribed to should be, for legal, again, time frame of considering that one-word questions. For legal should have been completed within a time frame of around 30 minutes here. Okay. Then English, obviously, being a little lengthy, you could have taken a little bit of liberty to take 25 to 30 minutes. Okay, for the fact that they have 3 passages, and the 3 passages were not very direct passages. It had a little complexities itself. So probably 3 minutes for English. Okay, then for logical reasoning, of course, 25 minutes. Okay, so that makes it to 60 plus 25 makes it to 85 minutes. Thereafter, you could take GK for another 50, making it 90 minutes, and then another 30 minutes you could have utilized for mathematics, considering the mathematics section is also a little complicated here. But yes, math section, of course, have the questions were pretty predictable. For fact, again, that arithmetic was given more emphasis. The arithmetic section did comprise of questions from percentage, from time and speed. So mathematics section could have been given a little more time, because you had the liberty of making use of the time for doing the math section over here. And like I told you earlier in yesterday's session also, Math section should not be ignored at all, because even if you are a little weak in mathematics, you should be attempting the section with full precision and full interest, for the fact that every single mark is going to be important for your entrance exam. From the qualification point of view, any of these national law universities of your choice. So in mathematics section, the questions from ratio proportion were pretty easy, though the algebra was a little complicated. But however, the section could have been solved within a span of 20 to 25 minutes, giving the average of time to be utilized in the other important sections. So English here, I completely understand, a time frame of around 30 minutes would definitely be given. English, again, I believe all the students who have applied the skim and scan procedure must have been benefited. So I would just request all the attendees to just respond if you guys have utilized the skim and scan method in solving RCs. By this method, I mean that you have gone to the question and then referred back to the passage into answer the given question. So a quick response from all the attendees if you have adopted the scan and skim method in your RCs. You did. I believe that the attendees who are responding by saying yes, this method was helpful in minimizing the time with respect to this particular section, because that's one shortcut pertaining to solving RCs. If you've used it, then I believe that you must have saved on a lot of time. Otherwise, reading each and every line, the traditional method would definitely not solicited in this particular question paper. After grammar questions, I am sure did not pose any difficulty to the students here. Just a quick response from all the students to let me know if you have faced any problem from question number 31 to question number 37. A quick response from all the students, please, because this section does not appear to pose any difficulty, for the fact that the questions were really easy. Even the error correction sentences were pretty easy. So in case any student have faced any difficulty, let me just know, so I can help you out with a few tricks and tricks if required. So I hope till 37 question, no difficulty as such. Yes, when it comes to idioms and phrases, it is advisable in this particular entrance exam in CLAT. If you're not aware of the idioms and phrases, please don't try to do guesswork to the extent that you're unsure of the particular answer. If you can make use of elimination method, good enough. The four choices that you have got, please make use of the elimination method to to the other impractical answers, and then come to the most probable answer as your conclusion. But in case you see that this is beyond your usage of this particular method, and under that circumstance, please leave a question, because you should keep this in mind that this particular entrance exam, CLAT, is definitely going to penalize you for wrong answers. It's very unlike the approach of NLU Delhi and Symbiosis, wherein you have the liberty of attempting every question and answer on the basis of guesswork. But please make sure, even if you are doing a guesswork, you are doing a very well-informed, well-choiced guesswork. Because in case your guesswork is not working in your favor, then 0.25 will be deducted. And a marks of 0.25 is definitely not a meager marks, for the fact that every single point of marks is going to determine your college's choice. I hope there are no doubts with respect to this particular section. Quick response from all of you, please, so that we can move forward to the other sections. So the next section that we are going to discuss here is general knowledge. Okay. In general knowledge, again, I will tell you a disclaimer. Please do not have any fixed notion with regards to the kind of question paper. I am sure after appearing for SCC and NU Delhi, many of you have a firm notion that maybe CLAT is going to focus more on current affairs. But if you see this particular mock test, it is again a combination of both static and current, wherein current affairs, wherein static GK was predominant. So main entrance examination, which is upcoming on 12th of May, this Sunday, please do not have any formed notion that maybe we are going to focus more on the current affairs. So prepare from the point of view of current affairs. May general knowledge pertaining to static GK is going to be predominant in this question paper. So put more emphasis your static GK. Do not have such a formed notion. Instead, keep revising whatever you have studied. Because you see this particular mock test, I'm sure must not have posed any difficulty pertaining to the general knowledge section, because the questions were pretty direct and they were pretty easy questions. And if you have referred to the LST GK module and the module pertaining to the GK capsule, then I'm sure you must have been able to attempt most of the questions. I would request all the students to give me a quick response pertaining to the GK section in case of any problem pertaining to the approach of the general knowledge section, or any other problem of some such. So please, quick response from all the attendees over here. Waiting for your response here. So I hope that there has been no pertinent problem in solving this particular section. Now, going to logical reasoning. Logical reasoning again appeared to be a little too lengthy for the fact that the deduction-based questions were a little lengthy. So I have to read a little more in order to conclude to an answer. So yeah, like I told you, here in this particular mock test, you could have taken the liberty of solving this particular section with 30 minutes in hand. So that would have been absolutely fine. Like I told you earlier, it's a particular section solving because the time frame which we had discussed earlier, we had maintained the similar time frame over here for this entrance for this mock test as well, and we have suggested that probable time limit of 30 minutes for legal aptitude, 30 minutes for logical and English, and 15 and 20 minutes respectively, 15 and 15 minutes respectively for your math section and general knowledge section. Again, please keep it in mind, it is useless to waste time in general knowledge questions. In case you are not being able to find out an answer, in case you are not sure of an answer, please leave the answer. Do not attempt that particular question, for the fact that you should always keep this in mind, that you have got 0.25 negative marking in this particular entrance exam. So let's go to the legal section. The legal section, like you can see, again a little, I should say, it's not as lengthy as it used to be, for the fact that in this mock test you've been given for the fact that you can juggle with the time, and you can estimate time limit according to your choice, considering one word based questions never take more than 5 minutes. I think you should make a choice decision between, like, the time division pertaining to legal section and English and logical reasoning. All right, your legal section may not have posed much of a difficulty with respect to your own, time limitations, but make sure that you are being able to spread out the entire 120 minutes easily as per the requirement to the each and every section that you have been asked in this particular question paper. Legal reasoning questions, if you see, the reasoning questions pertaining to the principal fact-based questions were difficult as such, because the principles were pretty direct and the options that you had to choose were definitely a direct reflection of the principle. So a quick response from all the attendees over here, so that I get to know if read section has posed any difficulty to you guys. I await response from your side to find out if in case you have faced any difficulty with respect to the legal reasoning section. Okay, alright, great. That indicates, you guys have been practicing legal reasoning quite that's the reason why this ease that you find in solving these question paper. But may I please know from all of you if you guys have used elimination method in this particular legal reasoning section? For attendees, once again, in case you have used elimination method, let me please know in which particular question you have used the elimination method. It doesn't seem like you guys have used the elimination method. Of course, it wasn't required to use the elimination method, wherein the questions are very direct, alright, like you see in all these legal reasoning questions. I believe amongst all the mock tests, this is probably one particular mock test wherein you have got such direct legal reasoning questions, which would definitely not have posed any problem to any of these students. The dominant concepts, like here you can see, with and criminal law being asked, which is again a very important section from the point of view of your main entrance examination. So please make sure that you are not ignoring tort, criminal law, and especially contract and chapter and sections pertaining to negligence and nuisance and some such. And actually constitution law. Constitution law is going to be very important from the point of view of your main examination. So please make sure that these are the few topics that you are doing very well, very properly before you are going for your entrance exam. And make sure to utilize the question, the principle that is given in your question paper. Do not use your prior legal knowledge in solving such questions. May I have a quick response from any of the students wherein you felt like you need to use prior legal knowledge in any of these questions, from question number from the legal aptitude section pertaining to question number 151 to question number 183. Any students over here who have felt that the legal knowledge has to be used, and if you have used your legal knowledge? Yes, of course, because it was not called for. So please make sure that until and unless in this question paper, until and unless you have certain questions when absolutely either it's a direct one-word legal knowledge question like you have in this particular question paper, mock test 70, or it is going to be, a question where the principle is given. Only then you are going to make use of your legal knowledge. Otherwise, you are not required to use your legal knowledge at any cost. Make sure you confine yourself only to the principle and try to find out the answer which reflects best to the principle. So I hope you guys are getting the hint that in this particular entrance exam, CLAT, unlike SCT and NLU, please do not confuse yourself. CLAT is going to be a separate, absolutely different pattern altogether. So you are not supposed to make use of any of the tactics which you have used in NLU Delhi or in SCT in this particular entrance exam for CLAT. In CLAT, the legal reasoning questions are going to be very, very direct, like you can find out from your mock test. Okay, it is going to be of similar lines wherein your principle is going to be your sole guide in answer questions. Though I admit, the CLAT committee has come up with this notification claiming that not going to put up any questions pertaining to legal risk. However, we purposefully introduced legal knowledge questions over here because we wanted you to prepare holistically. Please make sure that you not leave out on any of the questions pertaining to legal knowledge, especially maxims. Okay, like here again you see in question number 102, out of nowhere you have been asked the meaning of voluntary non-fit injuria. Okay, so it could possible that even in any of the problem, alright, the word voluntary non-fit injuria will be used, and you will be asked to decipher the meaning of voluntary non-fit injuria, or any maxim that we have already learnt in the classroom or we have learnt from the legal knowledge LSC book. Okay, so please do not ignore such kinds of maxims, legal phrases, and especially the article numbers of Constitution. Like I've already mentioned, articles from fundamental rights, fundamental duty, from election to amendment. Alright, these articles should be emergency. So articles from the part of the Constitution dealing with emergency, these articles will have to be by-hearted. Alright, please don't ignore these articles thinking that okay, legal knowledge may not be asked. Alright, because you should take last year's MISHAP as a precedent and make yourself pretty aware of the fact that they have CLAT will have this tendency to deviate from what they have suggested in their website. So please don't blindly follow what they are suggesting the pattern to be. Instead, prepare yourself holistically. So I would just ask all these students over here, in case you have got any pertinent questions with respect to the approach of this particular mock test, then you can ask me about it. Here you find a question wherein the student is asking what should have been the ideal sequence of attempt. All right. In such cases wherein you find that English or any section, all right, be it English or because the general knowledge and mathematics is really never lengthy. Okay, so we cannot definitely be assured of the fact that even in the main entrance exam, general knowledge and mathematics will definitely not be lengthy. However, there could be time limit issue pertaining to the remaining three sections: legal reasoning, legal aptitude. Definitely, in this particular mock test paper, it was English which was lengthy. Legal aptitude wasn't lengthy, but you should also be prepared from this point of view that English, legal aptitude both would be lengthy. Alright, you were lucky that here in this particular mock test 70, you did not get the entire section of legal aptitude pertaining to questions from legal reasoning. Since the knowledge questions were given, I'm sure that you could this on the time breakage and give more time to English and reasoning, and it was manageable with a lesser time in legal aptitude. However, this may not be the case in the entrance exam also. I would suggest that considering legal aptitude pose a little more important from the other section for the fact that it acts as a tiebreaker, it is advisable for one to attempt legal aptitude in the first go. Okay. Okay, so take the legal aptitude section and make it your first section to be entered in the day of your exam. If you feel that you are not confident in legal aptitude and your legal aptitude is really not up to the mark, and you have a better confidence in English or in logical reasoning, then attempt either English or logical reasoning first. So make sure that your attempt is always confining to the section you are confident with, firstly. Secondly, choose one lengthy section to be done in the beginning, so that in the first half an hour time span you are already through with one of the lengthy sections. You will not have this fear in your mind. You will not have this nervousness in yourself that oh, I'm left with so many other sessions which will pose difficulty from the point of view of time management. So if this would have been my actual CLAT paper, I would have definitely, I'm talking about myself, my approach, alright, maybe it may not suit you. In case not suiting you, then please don't implement it on the day of your exam. Utilize these 3 days to redo your mock test and analyze which approach is going to be best suitable for you. Getting back to the point, if I was to support to solve this question paper, I would have definitely taken up legal aptitude as my first section of attempt, where I would have not spent more than 25 to 15 minutes in solving legal aptitude. Thereafter, I would have definitely gone to general knowledge and completed the general knowledge section in time span of 15 minutes, because that makes me a little more relaxed with the fact that within the time frame of first 40 minutes I'm through with both the legal aptitude and general knowledge, both 50, 100 marks. I am through with it. Next, I am definitely going to go to English, alright, and take care of English so that I'm not losing out on English, for the fact that I'm sure most of the students attempting CLAT paper would be a little more confident with English. So of course, after English, giving around 30 minutes to English, I would have definitely gone to logical reasoning section. And then, if math is the weakest section for me, I would have left math to be done the last. But yes, again, please make sure that while attempting such kind of papers, you not jump between sections. Okay, if you're attempting one section, please make sure you're completing that particular section, and only then you go to the next section. No point jumping and juggling between questions from one section to the other section. The best idea is to pick up one particular section and get done with that particular section, and only then proceed forward with the next section. Okay, this is to all the participants over here, all the attendees in this particular webinar. In case you've got any doubts pertaining to the attempt, alright, of this question paper, please let me know so that I can solve your doubts. In the any particular questions, you can even let me know with regards to that. So I'm waiting for your questions. Okay, so if in case I've got any other questions pertaining to individual from each of the sections of this particular question paper, then after this webinar you may contact your respective faculties at your center and flag your doubts. So I hope this is going to be the end of this particular session. In case any doubt, any further doubts, attendees, ask you to put in questions. Okay, I'm very happy to see that you guys are not having questions. That means you guys have actually understood, and yes, the question paper wasn't difficult, alright, it was moderately difficult. So I'm sure you guys are hoping to get a good score into this particular question paper, LSC Mock 17. So all the best to all of you. Keep studying hard and practice all the previous mock papers once again before you go for your main entrance examination on 12th. Sachi, with regards to the cutoff this year, I was telling you already in the yesterday's session. Last year the highest was 156 and the cutoff went to around 120. So a mark difference of around 30 marks was visible in this last year's entrance examination, which did have negative marking. Now, considering negative marking has already been imposed with this year's students, the left marks is definitely going to go a little wide. Okay, so the actual cutoff would definitely be able to, we'll definitely be able to predict the actual cutoff once you guys are through with the entrance exam and we get to understand what sort of a question has come in this particular entrance exam. Before you guys are appearing for the entrance exam, it is really difficult to predict a particular cutoff. That we can do only after you guys are through with your entrance exam and you guys give us a feedback pertaining to how your exam went. Obviously, we are going to have a session with regards to the analysis of the actual CLAT paper on 12th evening. So you guys should definitely attend that to understand and to make a note of the cutoff, suggested cutoff from our end. And to repeat once again, the cutoff, we expect that it is definitely going to go high. Although in last year's paper, the competition was over within a span of a gap of 30 marks. However, this year we expect that it should go to a gap, a frame of 40 marks. So let's see, Sachi. Let's wait for the actual entrance exam on 12th, and then we will decide upon the cutoff depending upon the feedback of you guys that we derive on 12th. Okay. Any other questions from any other attendees over here? Back to all guys. Play well. Keep your up and make sure that the ancillary things like your pencil, your stationery, your admit card, your center location. All these things should not be a pain to you on the day of your entrance exam. So make sure you have arranged for all these ancillary arrangements a day prior. So by Saturday night, your location to be center and everything should be fixed, and you should have a Google map when you should be able to locate your center, and if required, visit the center on Saturday itself to know that how you should be reaching your center and stuff like that. With regards to the entrance exam, with regards to the sections, please keep preparing yourself very well. All right, work on your weaknesses and try to recapitulate as much as possible in these 3 days. And the remaining things, yes, well the night before your entrance exam and keep cool. Okay, all the best to you guys. We shall definitely meet again on Sunday with your analysis of the actual CLAT paper. So, here, goodbye.